All right, WWE Crown Jewel 2024 just wrapped up minutes ago at the time of recording this. Fun show, really good matches. Besides the Bloodline story stuff, not a lot happened, which doesn't bode well for them trying to shake glorified house show that us and people have called it. But whatever. Some people are saying Crown Jewel isn't canon. It again doesn't really matter. Not much happened. Anyway, going into this, I thought there were going to be 3 title changes, and you may ask, 3. There was only two potential title things to happen. Blah blah. Cash in. Anyway, none of that happened. Let's go over it. Let's see how wrong I was. Let's see how right I was for my predictions. I gave these predictions on our podcast, Stash Club Wrestling Podcast. If you're here, I feel like you know about it. Anyway, let's see what happened. Let's see what I got wrong. All right, first thing that happened on the show, the Bloodline, the new Bloodline, the OG Bloodline, the OG Bloodline versus the Bloodline or Bloodline 2.0. They kind of don't call it that. They've never, I don't think, really call it that. I think that's just a fan thing. Anyway, the new Bloodline won. Solo Sikoa pinned Roman Reigns. I didn't say that. Props to Dante. Dante did predict that. Wild. Regardless, though, got this right. I thought the Bloodline would win. To reiterate kind of what I said, it makes sense. If Jimmy and Roman won this, then it's it takes away a lot of credibility for what the new Bloodline built up, and then it's where do you go from here? So now there's still a battle to conquer. Obviously, we have the War Games match coming up that's been heavily predicted and speculated that's going to be the Bloodlines War Games match. I'm sure we'll see The Rock come in, but regardless, in terms of the prediction, right or wrong, I got it right. That's huge. Good start. Next was the 4-way women's tag match for the tag team titles. Bianca and Jade Cargill versus Damage Control versus Metaphor versus Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. I predicted Damage Control would win. I got this wrong. Jade and Bianca retained. And, not to get ahead, but this is one of 2 retains of the night, and then also, a third title change that also did not happen. We got a lot wrong. We got a lot right. Anyway, I speculated that I think it was Damage Control's time. I was coming into this whole thing of I said it before, but I thought they were we don't want Crown Jewel to be a house show or not canon anymore. We want Crown Jewel to mean something. So that's why I was kind of going on the limb of it. Wow, all right, they'll probably have title changes and whatever. I might have made all that up. I just kind of assumed that's the direction they were going, but non-canon house show is non-canon house show. So Jade and Bianca retained. I don't want to really dive into the matches and the show too much. That's kind of for the podcast. We're just kind of seeing the prediction stuff here. But Damage Control did not win. I would have also guessed Metaphor would win, kind of just a shocking win. They've been featured on TV a lot, have the titles on NXT, and really kind of another good thing for that NXT women's division. Jade and Bianca retained, which is also great. Doesn't really progress anything. I mean, it makes them look stronger, which is really cool. Gives a great light to the women's tag team title. So I don't want to say nothing happened, but nothing shocking. And I mean, obviously no title change. So got that wrong. Next up is Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed. Banger. I did predict that Seth Green, did I say Seth Green at the beginning? Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed. Oh, because Reed sounds like green, kind of. They have the double E's. Anyway, got this one right. This was a 50-50 for me. I could have seen it either way. I gave the slight edge to Seth just because he's Seth. He's coming back after being put on the shelf from Bronson Reed. So this was kind of him getting his revenge, and they've been brawling throughout, the past couple weeks, but this was the official on the scoreboard W that I think Seth needed. I don't think they're done. We saw the closing match with Bronson Reed, the blood dripping down them staring at each other. Seth was a little I won, but what did I do? So it's another point for me. Next match was Liv Morgan defeating Nia Jax. So I got this wrong and I got this right, and I'll tell you why. I did predict Liv to win, but the overhanging prediction was that I thought we were getting a Tiffany cash in, and they teased us 3 times. We were this close. She did make the run in, then Nia stopped her. She came back. Raquel interfered. So I mean, it's what happens all the time with the Money in the Bank cash in stuff. The referee couldn't comprehend the idea of a cash in. So for the sake of Liv winning, I got that correct. But the prediction here was that I thought Tiffany was going to cash in. Again, I thought this was an instance of, see, stuff happens at Crown Jewel. Egg on my face. I'm coming off pretty pessimistic, but it was a fun show. The matches were really great. Again, I'm not focusing on that part. It's for the podcast, but next quote unquote match. I guess if you can call it that. Not to say that was a bad thing. This was a highlight of the night. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, match gets thrown out. They just fought each other, and you saw the match. I think everyone who made predictions got this wrong. If you chose one of these two men that were in the match, I guess unless you did make their prediction, the crazy prediction of no contest, which if you made that prediction, props to you. That's wild. I'd like to borrow your crystal ball. Crystal ball. We don't do two takes on this channel. Anyway, who did I have? I had Kevin Owens. I mean, the idea of what I had for the story of Kevin Owens winning and looking dominant still stands. I mean, him and Randy. I'm glad Randy got way more aggressive offense in than I thought he would. I think on the podcast, we were kind of talking like, yeah, it's going to be a good match, but ultimately Kevin was going to snap and go crazy. I love that they let like legend killer Randy kind of come out, and they killed each other, but ultimately led to a wrong prediction. I think that was for, if you know the podcast, we do like the confidence points. That was 7 confidence points. That was the most points I could have gotten, and that just went to nil. So another banger of a match that kind of ended with just, nothing really changing or, happening. LA Knight versus Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. LA Knight retains. This was fantastic. Whether it was I had Andrade, that was my pick. I do think, and not just because I picked him, I do think Andrade might have been the move. I don't know. I'm gonna get hate for this. LA Knight is very over. I mean, the Saudi crowd was going crazy for him, but I think for the sake of Andrade and Carmelo, I kind of saw this as those two put on 6 fantastic matches in their series. LA Knight interrupts it. I thought they're gonna kind of play on that story where it's like, we're still gonna get the finish to our series. Now it's just including another person and a title, but ultimately Carmelo and Andrade are like concluding this series. So I don't know if shocked was the word, because again, it is Crown Jewel, but I think the move would have been to culminate all of this with an Andrade or Carmelo win. LA Knight going over is fine. He's still hot. He's still the guy, whatever, but I don't love how it makes Andrade and Carmelo look with them getting their best of 7 interrupted. An all-timer best of 7, I'll say it. And then for LA Knight just to get the better of the both of them. With that said, the finish was so sick with like the double BFT thing and, from Carmelo's flip. Regardless, I had Andrade. I thought he deserved it. I thought he was gonna kind of win this and come out the winner of the best of 7. They treat it like that. That's not what happened. But, what are you gonna do? Finally, Gunther versus Cody Rhodes in the main event with a divisive ending, to say the least. Cody ends up beating Gunther like clean in the sense that there was no potential for a DQ, but like it was the I don't even know what to call it. Not that it wasn't a roll up, but like the thing with the, and then his shoulders are down, whoa, like that sort of whatever. I think a lot of people, including Dante and I. So if you asked me 3 weeks ago who was going to win, I'd be like, oh, obviously Cody, he's the face of the company, he's the guy. And then through talking about it, and Dante had a good point, and I really got convinced that, you know what, especially with like Randy and Kevin on the show, like I think a lot of people thought there was going to be some Kevin interruption, and that would allow Gunther to get the win over Cody Rhodes while still making Cody Rhodes look strong and look like the guy, while also progressing this Kevin Owens and Randy stuff and Cody stuff. Hi, sorry, kind of an important part of this that I forgot that I did mention that we were speculating about for this prediction, especially for Gunther losing, was no Goldberg. I think we weren't like super sold on it, or I guess to speak for myself, I wasn't super sold on it. I guess I thought if Cody was gonna win, because I was so sold on Gunther winning. So I was like, if Cody wins, I could see like a Goldberg interference, right? That didn't happen. No Goldberg, no real mention of him, wasn't in sight. I don't know, no Goldberg. So I just wanted to wanted to interject there. It's another thing. It might be the thumbnail. I don't know. That's why. That's not what happened. Cody just went over as the guy. I understand it. Like I said. This is why I don't like a champion versus champion match like this, or just in general, because these two guys, Gunther and Cody, I can say this for champion versus champion in general, but it's especially true because of these two guys. These two guys are the guys. Cody's Cody and he's up here, but like they've been building Gunther up as like the pro wrestler. He's the world heavyweight champion. They've been building up that title. Any result would have been like wrong or right, If Gunther wins, then it's like, oh, well, Cody beat Roman at 40. Cody's the WWE champion and Cody's the guy, especially if there was no, interference. Gunther losing is like, well, man, they built him up and he's supposed to be like this traditional, barely anybody can beat me. Now his list of who has beat him is growing. And it's like, It's a good and a bad thing. It's good for people on the list, but it is another Gunther loss. But also, maybe we're putting too much stock into Gunther being this unbeatable guy. I don't know. Like I said, divisive. I haven't fully come to a conclusion on what I think about it. But regardless, what the point of the video is, my prediction for all of that and everything I said, I was off base. So, and that's that. That's how right or wrong I was about WWE Crown Jewel 2024. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you got right. Let me know what you thought of the show in general. Please subscribe, leave a like, follow me on everything. You get it. Everything's in the description. Make sure to check out Stash Club and the podcast on Thursday when we're going to talk about everything in depth and what happens with the fallout. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. All right. Have a good rest of the weekend. Okay. Jesus. All right. Okay. Bye. Jeez.